This is Ethan with Staying Health McKimberley on Warringah Radio 693 AM. Today we have Sally Conti from Boab Health Service. Hello, Sally.
Hey Ethan, thanks for having me here today. It's good to be on the radio. So as you said, I'm Sally. I'm the children's dietitian at Boab.
Yep.
I spend a bit of time sort of teaching kids and parents about healthy tucker to keep their bodies nice and strong and healthy.
Yep. And what is your role at Boab Health? Just tell our listeners out there.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said, I sort of work with parents and kids teaching about healthy tucker. I do a bit of group education, and you might also see me at OVARs as well, doing one-on-one education with mainly parents and kids around nutrition.
Yep. And do you have any, you got some 3 tips on keeping, everyone safe during the holidays, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, holidays are coming up, and during the holidays our routine can often change. So I've got a few simple ways to keep your mob healthy during this time. So my first tip is to include a range of healthy tucker every day. And there's some helpful things that families can do to encourage kids to eat healthy foods, because it can sometimes be tricky. So one way is to as adults, eat healthy foods in front of our kids. Because kids are much more likely to eat those healthy foods if they see the adults doing so as well, because it shows them that they're safe foods. So a great place to try this could be enjoying foods with your family and friends during the holidays.
Yep.
Another way is by making sure there's plenty of healthy tucker in the house. So this includes things like vegetables, fruits, lean meats, dairy foods, as well as whole grains. So things like brown bread, rice, crackers. And then as well as that, sort of keeping a minimal amount of unhealthy foods in the house. So things like chips, lollies, cool drinks. So the less option kids have to eat those unhealthy foods, the more likely they are to eat the healthy ones. And don't worry, a healthy kid will never starve themselves for too long.
Yep.
And another good idea to help kids eat those healthy foods is to get them into the kitchen. So we know that the more involved they are in the preparation of food, the more likely they are to try new foods. So it teaches them fun new skills, and it's another good activity up your sleeve for holiday time. So some examples of how you could do this might be getting them to choose a recipe, reading out that recipe, as well as involving them in age-appropriate tasks. So things like mixing, chopping, cracking eggs, for example, and getting them involved in setting up the area where you're going to eat, whether it be a table or, wherever you're going to eat your food.
Yep. And with healthy tucker, what about just drinks? Let's go into drinks. What about that?
Yeah, great question. So water is the best drink for everyone, so adults and kids. Instead of cordial, cool drink or juice, carrying a bottle of water around with us can help ensure that we're drinking enough, especially in this hot weather when we need a little bit more.
Yeah. Yep. And what's the next tip, Sally?
So my next tip is around sleep and getting enough sleep. So when we don't get a good night's sleep, we're much more likely to choose those unhealthy foods for a quick fix of energy. And we also tend to feel more tired and less likely to get out and be active.
Yeah.
So the amount of sleep we need, it varies depending on how old we are. And generally, the younger we are, the more sleep we need because we're doing more growing.
Yeah. And do you have any ideas for to help families get active?
Get active for sure, yeah. So getting active can be a little bit tricky, especially in this hot weather. So one way can be beating the heat and seeking sort of a cooler times of the day, so morning and afternoon. as well as choosing activities that are indoors or water-based. Another way can be choosing an activity that your family likes doing together. And finally, limiting the use of screens. So things like TV, iPad, PlayStation. So we're wanting to sort of keep that to no more than 2 hours a day, because less screen time means you're going to have more time to get active.
That sounds pretty good, just
Yeah.
to get active like that.
Sure.
What's the next tip you have?
Yeah, so my next tip is around physical activity. So incorporating those ideas I just talked about. So especially during school holiday time, kids have more free time. So trying your best to, involve physical activity every day. So for kids, we want to aim for at least 1 hour of physical activity a day. And for adults, we want to aim for about 30 minutes.
Yep. And thanks, Sally, for coming on the show today. And do you have any contact number for Boab Health for people who want to just get more information?
Yeah, absolutely. So the contact number for Boab Health, I can give you the website. That's probably a better spot to go. So it's www.boabhealth.com.au, and our phone number will be on that website.
Yep. Thank you, Sally, for coming on the show today and talking to me.
No worries. It was my pleasure, and thanks for giving me the chance to share these healthy messages.
Yep. That was Sally from Boab Health Service on Staying Healthy in Kimberley on Warringah Radio 693 AM.